his ability to get downhill, get in the paint, draw fouls. He's an excellent mid-range scorer, can also get all the way to the hoop, pull back on a read screen, shoot a three. So it was good. We had a lot of guys rolling, had their own segments of the game offensively. And defensively down the stretch, we were able to lock in and get some stops, some key stops, and hold them in one possession.
Towards that end, 7 blocks for AD, 3 steals, and uncounted number of other impacted plays. So what did you see from him defensively?
He's our linebacker. Just our middle linebacker, a guy that's just seeing everything in front of him, talking to the guys, just protecting the rim, being a presence in the paint, his activity, his energy on that side of the ball. He's a great active hands as well. So anything low, anything high, he can account for. But the communication amongst all the guys were great. Ace set a tone. I told him before the game started, I need you to set a tone. Be that guy. And he did it. And so, his biggest mark that needs to be made consistently throughout is on the defensive end. We know what he can do offensively. He had some great moments there too, but defensively, I thought he was unbelievable.
Darvin, how's AD's shoulder, and can you take us back to that moment of just kind of the uncertainty, obviously going into halftime, and then him going through some tests and then coming back out in the second half?
Well, the shoulder is fine. I think it was just a stinger. He got caught in the fray. His body's crashing, banging. Some people in the air, some people coming down on your shoulder. I think he got hit. Someone landed on top of him as he was going up and got a stinger. So that was good news to know that it wasn't anything beyond that. Just happy he's okay. I instructed our medical team to get him to the back immediately and start the evaluation process and testing it out, and he was able to finish the game.
Darvin, LeBron took one shot in the fourth. I think AD, up until the final maybe 70 seconds, took one shot in the fourth. What did it say about those guys and kind of making the right play, that the trust that they had in a team, in the rest of the team, and how validating is that for this group, considering how still relatively new it can be?
I think it's huge, man. And, the game and the opponent's defense usually dictates where the ball is going to go or who's going to have to step up and make plays. Excuse me. Obviously, they want to take LeBron out of it. They want to take away AD. So other guys, they have to be ready to step up and make plays. You saw it with Rui. You saw it with Austin, D'Lo. Dennis, he had some good moments just playing downhill to the rim. So, that's a big part of it. That's a part of why, we made the moves we made to have multiple threats, and where the defense can't just lock and key in on our two captains, and then, in turn we struggle. We have a plethora of guys that can make plays with and without the ball in their hands.
Darvin, how big was it to have Jared do what he did against Ja there, especially in the first half?
It's a testament to him, and it's a teachable moment for all young basketball players out there. They just think, it's all about making threes or dunking on people or whatever. If you're able to, lock in defensively, rebound, really embrace that role, there'll always be a place for you on a high-level basketball team in a high-level league such as the NBA. So, his ability to just lock in and be selfless, taking tough matchups, diving on the floor, doing the dirty work, setting screens, going to the second and third action when he's involved, is great. It's invaluable, and I'm just happy we have an asset like that on our roster.
We all kind of saw as you came towards the end of the regular season and even in the playing game, it wasn't your sharpest basketball. You were still winning games, but not necessarily your sharpest basketball. What combination of the time off to rest this past week led to the execution today, or how much was it actually just guys playing really well on top of that?
I think it's a combination of both. Guys feeling refreshed, and also us looking at ways we can improve on that side of the ball. We were well aware of everything you just mentioned. Last week of the season or so, the play-in game where possessions got away from us. We threw away possessions with no pass or one pass, then shot, turnovers, and a little bit of that reared its head in the second quarter. But we went through the film, watched a lot of film on ourselves, and you know, that's a hell of a team over there, you know, elite defensive team. And so, you know, your no pass shot, one pass shot is not going to work. You got to be ready to initiate quickly with pace, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to take away that first option that you're looking for, but you got to be able to play to a second or third side and keep the ball moving. And I thought our guys did a hell of a job doing that. But just the film study, the feedback, the communication amongst the guys and the players to the coaches, coaches to the players was phenomenal. And again, it wasn't anyone trying to prove themselves to be right or their way is the best way. It's like, how can we best extract the most production as we can out of this group? And this is how, and this is what's going to work against this team. This is what we need to explore. This is what we need to leave to the side. So I thought it was a combination of all of that, being fresh and really taking a deep, hard look at our offense and what's been good and what's been bad.
Darvin, you're down 6 at the half, dealing with AD stinger. You guys come back with a 37-point third quarter. What specifically did you like in that third that they executed from what you talked about at halftime?
I mean, just being aware. You know, we talked about transition defense coming into the game. There were some times where Jaren got loose, and we left our guy on the island. We could have had a bigger crowd, more activity around that matchup, or whoever was guarding them. And then, you know, offensively, not throwing away possessions, turning the ball over. Had a couple of plays where guys went in, collapsed the defense. You see 3, 4 blue jerseys around one white jersey, and that guy in our uniform still trying to shoot the ball as opposed to spraying it out and making a simple play, simple pass. So we hit on that, but also we stayed positive and stayed encouraged, knowing that there's gonna be ebbs and flows to every NBA game, and especially in playoff time. You can't get discouraged. You got to have a next play mentality, and with each possession, trying to get it right, you know, consistently, possession after possession after possession. And I thought the guys really zoned in and really did that.
Darvin, Hachimura had a DNP just like, I think it was like a dozen games ago. Did you have any conversations with him around that time? And I guess, how have you seen his confidence kind of grow in the weeks since then that kind of led to maybe the fearlessness that he showed today?
Yeah, that DNP was kind of on me. I went rogue with our rotation. But since then, he and I had a conversation. I love Rui. I mean, he's one of the brightest young men I've ever been around and had the opportunity to coach in my life. And, you know, he's multifaceted. He's strong. He has great hands. He can get out and run. He can go up top. Very, very athletic. And really can put the ball in a hole, as you saw today. But just encouraging him to be assertive, aggressive. You know, you could see when he first arrived, he could try to, you know, sort of tiptoe around LeBron and AD, trying to figure out where his spots would come. And I just look, man, they're going to figure it out. These guys want to see you in a position to help them as much as you want to help them. So, you know, he listened. We watched film. We highlighted certain things in film sessions with him, and, you know, we're seeing the fruits of that labor. You know, I told him just go out and play free, be aggressive. And the only mistake you could make with, you know, on this team is just to not compete and not play together with your teammates. That's it. Those are only two. We'll figure out all the particulars and the coverages and what strategic actions we want to run offensively. But at its core, you just have to be competitive and, you know, a willing participant with your teammates.
Darvin, what kind of conversation did you have with D'Lo after you struggled with his shooting in the playing game, and what do you think that did for him going forward tonight?
Just told him to be assertive. You know, don't defer. Stop deferring. You know, if I call a set, you know you're supposed to handle the ball. And he's another one. You know, he wants to play the right way. He's trying to see how he can best fit in, and sometimes you just got to go out there and hoop. And I thought tonight he was a lot more aggressive, and he came out, missed the first couple of shots, and I looked at, I told him, I said, I want those same shots, stay aggressive. And he nodded his head, and I thought he was great for us tonight. He was huge, hit some huge threes when we needed them, and I expect him to continue forward in the same fashion.